Yo, it's Confidence King. You are looking at royalty. Views from the 22. We are back once again. We're going to keep being back as long as this good season is going on. We are going to show some appreciation to that position. It's the one position in which they're too small to be blockers. They're too slow to be receivers, yet they're so important because they do both.
Yes.
And the way they're able to extend the field down the middle, be the quarterback's safety valve, and all while probably getting 20% of the looks in the offense. And that's if you're like Hall of Fame caliber. It's just nothing short of just the unselfishness that it takes to play that position. So we salute you guys, tight ends. We
Yeah.
don't overlook you. It's just, wide receivers need their attention, so we got to get at to them. Running backs need their money, so we got to get at to them. Quarterbacks are too valuable from a position standpoint, so we got to get at to them. And none of this happened without the blockers, so we got to get at to them. And you kind of are all in the middle of all of that and just not saying a word and just serving. So salute to you.
I also think you gotta as much as we talk about quarterbacks and centers and all that good stuff, we got to keep in mind a lot of times the tight end is the second or third smartest person in the offense. In some situations, he might be the smartest.
Yeah.
In rare situations, like Greg Olsen, for example, not to take away anything from Cam, but you see the knowledge of the game that Greg Olsen has. Rob Gronkowski, have y'all ever watched Old School? The
Yeah.
movie with Will Ferrell. You remember
Of
when they
course.
did the trivia thing or the Jeopardy thing, and Will Ferrell just turned into a beautiful mind.
Recent research has shown that empirical evidence for globalization of corporate innovation is very limited. And as a corollary, the market for technologies is shrinking. As a world leader, it's important for America to provide systematic research grants for our scientists. I believe strongly that there will always be a need for us to have a well-articulated innovation policy with emphasis on human resource development. Thank you.
That's Gronkowski when he talks football. Like, if you listen to him talk football, he knows, he understands everything that's going on. As much as people talked about Julian Edelman in that offense, like Gronk has a greater football mind than anybody in that offense, with the exception of the greatest football mind of all time, arguably. So I think that's one thing that we really got to highlight is sometimes tight ends or have to be the second or third smartest because they got to know so many things. Like, if a tight end is running an option, not only does he have to be aware of what the people in his defensive zone are doing, he's got to know what the corner is doing. He's got to know what the receiver is doing, and he's got to make sure that the receiver is seeing the same thing he's seeing. So there's a lot of synchronicity that is involved with playing the tight end position. But I think that's the first thing is we have to highlight the intelligence of a tight end. Number two, we got to highlight what they mean from an X's and O's standpoint. And you look at all these great tight ends, Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez, with the exception of Antonio Gates and Greg Olsen, but Shannon Sharp, Tony Gonzalez, Rob Gronkowski, Greg Olsen, you just go down the line, Mike Ditka even, like all these guys have been pivotal parts of historically great offenses, some of them even Super Bowl offenses. Third thing, the evolution of it. Antonio Gates, Jimmy Graham, Tony G, but specifically Jimmy Graham and Antonio Gates, the way they translated their basketball skills, shout out to Ball U Academy at 94 Feet of Life, the way they translated their basketball skills onto the gridiron. So the tight end position is so much more than these wonderful personalities, these great leaders, these sort of locker room tension easers. There's so much more than that. There's so much more value to a football team. And here at Views from the 22, it is no secret. We value tight ends a lot more than we value running backs and wide receivers.
And it makes sense because tight ends are starting to get picked a little bit higher and higher in the draft as they see the value. superhero. What you think?
Well,
Speed,
being
speed,
synonymous is they are the superhero of the offense. If you want to
Mm.
really take it to be the person there, they are the person that is most of the time vigilant in a lot of things that they do. That is the person that you take over and you help with the swing tackles who are a little bit when you got some of those quicker left ends that take the field. Those are also the people that they put at that tight end position. Actually kind of start that hybrid role, which is the H back role. That role, which was from a tight end or me not having a natural fullback, so I had a tight end play the H back role.
Nice.
So if you look at those type of things in particular, like it's just a lot of things that the tight end adds to the offense, and why the tight end is more important than receivers, just in particular. The tight end it's not just blocking. Sometimes the closer the receiver is to the formation, which is why you see slot receivers get a lot more attention, a lot more catches, opportunities for catches. Being closer to the quarterback does matter because if you look at it from a standpoint, a lot of these teams they do these block and release plays now. So they'll block for two or count 1, 2, and then they'll release into a pattern. Those things have become a lot harder to guard because of the speed and the adjustments that the defenses have had to make because of that. So the spies that we see sometimes aren't just because of the quarterbacks. A spy sometimes can be, hey man, they do a lot of things with delayed actions or delayed things. So those are reasons why a tight end can be just as dangerous, if not more, than any other player on the field. And that's what I'll say, as my little piece for today, because we'll cover the majority of it. But remember this too. There's a reason why young quarterbacks, in my opinion, there's a reason why Pat Mahomes was able to win a Super Bowl early.
Makes sense.
Was because he had one of the best tight ends in the league. It's a reason why Brady took Gronk out of retirement when he went to Tampa Bay.
Makes sense.
And to even go a step further, there's also another reason why there was a 2 tight end set that Brady rode to a Super Bowl and almost won another ring with. And we were talking about his best historical season as a quarterback was with 2 tight ends as the focal point of an offense.
Yep.
2010, 2011, Brady was one of the more efficient quarterback runs that we ever saw. And the one thing that never gets talked about is they had the 31st ranked defense in the league over those 2 years. But yet he made it to a Super Bowl with the 31st ranked defense.
All right, so real quick, because we got to give the tight end day its flowers. So I want you to build your perfect tight end. Hand, speed, stature, feet, route running.
Can I be boring?
Go ahead. Shoot the shit. It's your job. You just want Gronk, right? Yeah.
I'm gonna just say Gronk.
Say Gronk. Okay.
The only thing I'll add is maybe like Tony Gonzalez is nimbleness and route running ability. I don't want to be boring, but I don't think people truly understand the overall ability of Rob Gronkowski. If I was taken further, I would say route running, Tony G, speed, Shannon Sharp, and everything else, Gronk.
That ain't boring.
Everything else, Gronk. Yeah. Because like the 2 best blocking tight ends not named Robert Gronkowski that I've seen are Heath Miller and Jason Witten. Who Jason Witten, by the way, has the most receptions from a tight end in a single game with 18. Shout out to Jay Ham for that stat.
Oh wow.
But Gronkowski, as a blocker, was just as good, if not better than them. Everything else, good. But that, if I had to say perfect, it would be those 3 things. Good.
It's like this. Like Gronkowski was the best laterally of the 3 that we're talking about when we talk about blocking, because laterally is where when the Patriots used to kill people with that wham block for the trap play. And for a long time, they averaged like 6 yards of carry on that play.
Literally.
Just because he was able to not only, that's a pulling tight end type of situation. If you can pull a tight end and he can block a 350-pound player, that does take away a lot of things in the equation. And see, that right there in itself, people don't understand. The reason why people don't talk about the things with Gronk the way that they could talk about it is because people like to use the longevity argument as part of things. And I tell people all the time, people couldn't stop Gronkowski, so they threw themselves at his knees.
Yeah.
This is not a thing. TJ Ward, like, it's one record. TJ Ward literally took out the man's knee, and Rob's like, "Damn, bro, like, why did you take out? Like, if you couldn't guard me, just say that." Like, literally. So I need people to understand. Bernard Potter almost ripped the guy's ankle out of the socket in that game, which ultimately, because they could have cost Brady another Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just saying, like, I think Gronk is going to get a couple of those categories. I think Tony G is probably another guy that you'll probably say. Some people may say that they want Tony G's hands, which that's subjective. I think Jason Witten probably has some of the best hands we've ever seen from a tight end. So I mean, I would think that, just to be fair and objective, that Jason Witten is a good person to have on that list as well. I'm going to be real conservative, because I'm not even going to give an answer. I'm just going to give you some attributes and some players. And then if I say stature, Jimmy, like, let me just say this: Jimmy Graham's stature was effing incredible.
Yes.
Considering being 6'6", with being wiry like that, with his ability to jump is very good. And ironically, he went to the U. But you know what I'm saying? But the thing that I need people to remember most about Jimmy is Jimmy played with Drew Brees. And Jimmy is the prime example of what I'm talking about when I say Jimmy Graham caught everything that Drew Brees threw his way for the most part. And Jimmy Graham actually, even at some point, had cornerbacks scouting and following him around because he was so damn good and such a mismatch for linebackers and safeties. So I need you to remember, if we talk about stature, the stature of a player, Jimmy Graham was probably one of them for that, just for that purpose.
To your point, I'm glad you brought up Jimmy Graham, because the one thing that needs to be brought up as we celebrate National Tight End Day, he changed the pay grade for tight ends.
He did.
That cannot be understated. That cannot be understated. Remember the whole, y'all gonna franchise tag me as a wide receiver, not as a tight end. And there was a lot of arbitration and this and that and the whole nine. The Saints ended up losing that battle. And as a result, the position won that battle for generations to come. So Jimmy Graham, a lot of things we can say about him. He cannot be overlooked in terms of his influence on the position. No doubt about it.
So, he was doing exactly what MJ's name said. He was minding his tax bracket.
That's the circle. So I will say this: give me the hands of Antonio Gates.
Okay.
The stature of Jimmy Graham.
Okay.
Shannon Sharp's speed.
Okay.
Gronk's blocking.
Love it.
And this one might be interesting to you. Tony Gonzalez feet, route running.
Absolutely.
You give me those five, man. I might not even throw it to nobody else, bro.
No, for real.
Tony
Gonzalez.
Yeah, I might hand it off.
So, yeah, give me the running abilities of Aaron Hernandez. All jokes aside. All jokes aside.
He was one of them. If we just look at it from a football standpoint,
yes,
that's a football player. That's a football player. That's not what Aaron Hernandez was able to do in those personnel groupings, bro. Is not anything short of incredible. Like, you talk about a dude that played every position. So to bring most point to even more to the focal point, you realize when he said he's probably one of the smartest people in the offense, bro. Aaron knew every position: X, flanker, H-back, tight end, running back, fullback. If you needed him to play, like, when you get elite pass catchers, bro. Listen, y'all listen. Hey, hand me that bag over there. When you get elite pass catchers, they understand what the quarterback potentially is looking at every play. So not only do they understand that means they're also going to understand this thing called leverage. They're also going to understand one more thing, which is essential to route running. They're going to understand depth.
Mm.
And if you don't run a route at the right depth, that's the difference between the ball at your knees, at your shoulder, at your head. But most importantly, it's the most important part of being able to say, we always talk about quarterbacks being accurate. The quarterback sometimes don't be the problem. It be the receiver not running at the proper depth.
Mm.
Oh.
One more time, please.
Yeah.
It don't always be the quarterback being inaccurate. It is sometimes the receiver running the route at the proper depth. So if the depth is supposed to be 12 yards, and then you see the ball is down here, you probably didn't run it 12 yards.
I'm ready to cash app you ties right now, bro.
Bro, I was about to say, preaching. He a superhero Monday through Saturday and a preacher on Sundays.
Right. This man got all of the feathers in his hat at this point. All right, so moving on. Shout out to y'all.